Good morning. Today I'm talking about deliberate elevation. Now, deliberate elevation is something I think I came up with myself, but I'm not 100% sure. Deliberate elevation is what it sounds like, doing something deliberately to elevate your spirit or your mood. So when I'm doing that, that means that I'm listening to my favorite song, or I took a drive to a park that I really enjoy, or I took a walk, or I called a friend and talked to someone that I really enjoy speaking with. But deliberate elevation means you are doing things on purpose to elevate your mood. And you should do those things on a constant basis because you'll stay in a better mood. In order to get to a place you've never been before, you have to do things that you've never done before. So, yes, it may feel good to smoke because we're talking about this 21-day challenge. I don't know actually if I talked about 21-day challenge to you or if it's just on Facebook, but 21-day challenge means I am not smoking any cigarettes right now. This is day 4 because I messed up. It's actually day 3 for me, but we're on day 4 of the 21-day challenge technically. But deliberate elevation means that instead of me smoking that cigarette, I found something else to replace that with. So if you have bad habits you want to changing those bad habits is deliberate elevation. That's doing something that is going to elevate your mood or your spirit, because as much as I don't want to, immediately it doesn't, but in the long term it will. Every time I can say no, it will help me. So every time you make a positive change, as much as it hurts, it'll help in the long run. So deliberate elevation. Listen to that song you like 100 times if you want to, because I actually did. I listened to this song 100 times, maybe over 100 times. So do the things that you need to do to keep yourself motivated. Something else that I listened to this morning talked about not being uncomfortable, being comfortable, because I already spoke about that, but the topic was what we owe ourselves, So not blaming it on what somebody else owes you, but realizing what we owe ourselves and holding ourselves to that same 30-day guarantee. You know, if you don't get what you said you were going to get in 30 days, you expect your money back, but you don't ever hold yourself accountable for the things that you need to hold yourself accountable for. And that's what we need to do. We need to start holding ourselves accountable for what we want out of life. If you don't do what you're supposed to do, then you need to put yourself on punishment, per se. You need to restrict yourself from something. You can't just keep missing the mark and letting yourself slide, because then you're never going to be successful. This is what goes into being motivated and being disciplined. Like, having discipline means that you are staying consistent, but when you miss the mark, that means you've got to stop and do something else. I remember when I was a kid, my mom, if I didn't go to school that day, that meant I couldn't play with my friends. If I didn't go to school, if you don't feel good enough to go to school, you don't feel good enough to go play with your friends. So now as an adult, if I don't go to work, if I don't feel well enough to go to work, then later on, if my friends want to hang out or go somewhere, I know I can't go. No, I can't go because I didn't go to work today, so I don't deserve to go and hang out with my friends. And that's my way of putting myself on punishment and keeping myself in the house so that I can work on myself and invest in myself. Because if you truly actually don't feel good, you don't go and do things that you wouldn't have done. Like, you didn't feel good enough to go to work, then you don't feel good enough to go out. Even if you feel better, you need to take that time that you feel better to reflect on what you could have been doing throughout the day. That's what's important. So, deliberate elevation, that is what we're doing today. We are finding one thing that you can do that's going to elevate your spirit, and then hold yourself accountable. Hold yourself accountable today. If you've set goals that you have not met, hold yourself accountable to those things. Give yourself that 30-day guarantee, and if you didn't complete it, put yourself on punishment. You can't go hang out with your friends or do the things that you like to do or watch television, your favorite show, if you aren't doing the things that you need to do to be successful. Start making those sacrifices. it's one step at a time. You just have to start making those sacrifices. Okay? So deliberate elevation and 30-day money back guarantee. Start owing it to yourself to be successful. Okay? That's what we're doing.